about. Come make we chat. Come make we talk. Come make we chat. We always talk the thing that nobody know want to talk about. Just come make we chat. Come make we talk. Come make we chat.
Tell him say I'm me that I represent you.
All ganja baby, all ganja man. Give me the candy kush. I make me smoke it till me eyes them red. Give me the candy kush. I make me smoke it till me eyes them red. I got me like, I got me like beef and broccoli. I got me like beef and broccoli. I got me like beef and broccoli. I got me like piece of cushion, piece of cess. Put them together, say the two of them are the best. Beef and broccoli. I got. My Links Production. Dubs overgone. You and you put down weapon. Stop kill me, that awesome. That time, go easy. No pulley 4 5, please don't squeeze it. Every ghetto you feel rise. Tie your face who know what I. It don't please me, my you take time. Go easy. Make a life there you feel you live, believe me. Every ghetto you feel rise. Tie your face who know what I.
Listen, hey, moments of clarity. It's like a rarity. Trying to survive when enemies want to murder me. Hey, time is precious, so imagine the urgency. When blood hits your shirt, the shit looks like burgundy. Foresee your purpose before you wipe out the surface. A lot of hates in the air, they back to burning black churches. Concerned with my city, I know it makes them nervous.
Boy, bad habit, we not pick it up, you know. Show it down. We don't pick it up. No, we don't pick it up, you know. No, we don't pick it up. How them a try for this? 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 Enough boy them a this. When them see the woman, them a call them bitch. Enough woman them a this. When them see the man, them say he ain't shit. Bad habit them pull up, bad habit oh. Bad habit on me and tell them stop it oh. Bad habit them pull up, bad.
Wagwan family, welcome back to Come Make We Chat. You don't know you have a girl host here, Mad Links, aka the Madrasta, in the building alongside Big Sexy, aka God Bless Don't Stress, at God Bless Don't Stress, don't you?
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, again, Happy New Year to everybody out there. It has been quite a 2020. We did a recap on our last show. I don't think we're going to go back through that again on this show, are we, cuz?
No, we're good.
We did the dang thing there. We talked the thing about it, and we're over 2021. So
2020?
sorry, we're over 2020. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm already over 2021, so I guess.
I am so done with 2020 that I'm constantly talking 2021, even when I'm speaking about 2020. That's how much I am done with it. Shout out to all the people out there in Facebook world, Twitter land, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube. You don't know we love you. Welcome to Come Make We Chat. It's a new year. It's a new season. Beer free Griagwan same way. Don't it, my friend?
Circa sometime.
Well, first off, let me do my shout outs. Let me shout out all Soul City family, Dollar D, Boom Blast, you don't know, Chef, Zolja. Who else we got to big up? So Bad, Briken, Knock, H2O, all of the Gen X family. Big up all of the Link squad, our Links family. You don't know Tony Link and Miss Red Bricks. Yeah, man, big up Bigs and Yellow. You don't know, look out for a bus coming January 31st. The all-female edition. That's supposed to be sick. Nothing to say? I said
Am I
just
performing
dead,
at that one? Yo.
Oh my
head
goodness.
Is that a yes? Yeah, alright.
That's a hell or no.
How? We're gonna get the track done.
What
You
track?
know, shout out to my manager, Freddie.
You don't know.
Yeah,
Look out for big sexies coming out, eh? We're gonna put the big into sexy.
Oh Jesus.
We're gonna bust our big. Yeah, man. Look out for it. We're gonna work on that. But you can't sing. You have to go DJ or rapper or something.
I can sing, bro. Auto-tune's the shit. You get me?
Hey, you ain't no T-Pain though. Let's move along from there. Huh?
Won't you get me? Got me doing things I never do.
I can't right now. Big up Den. You don't know. May, Tandy B, Shani B. You don't know. Big up
Too
Emmy.
much B.
Me no business. The whole of my family them a be. Me love the whole of them. Me don't know. Big up Auntie Mel, Auntie Chuchi, Auntie Dana, Nush. Big up yourself. 3-2 homies. All my 61st family them. Skeep, top notch. I want to you, man. Me have to big up all of my friend them. Oppressed Rebel Clothing. Big up yourself. Mawama Sweater.
Who?
See me? Oppressed Rebel. Mawama Sweater.
I like one too, but
Yeah,
I'm
call
not
it
oppressed.
out.
I'm not oppressed.
Oppressed Rebel. Mawama Sweater. You see it? And don't forget, you can get your Fuck Justin Castro t-shirts right here. The number is right there on the bottom, okay? We already went through who he is. Check out the last episode.
Shout out Junior Flex, even though he's annoying.
Shout out Junior Flex with your annoying self. DJ Junior Flex, big up yourself. All the way in Jamaica. We love you, King. Big up yourself. Full of vibes and full of style. One day you're going to have to do a segment for me. We're going to try hook him up on Zoom for your family. Shout out all North Side, South Side, East Side, West Side, Jean Street, St. Clair. So many places. Eglinton, Oakwood, Vaughan, Bloor, Queen. You have it, Dufferin.
Just Scarborough. Oh,
Scarborough, Finch.
Western Speed.
Mississauga.
Weirdos.
I have to big up all of my Katra family, all my Lakeshore family. What happened to you? You have to big up everybody in the city. Big up the whole of T-Dot. I mean, say who that I mean that I represent the T-Dot. Big up the whole city. Yeah.
That would have been tragic.
What is the topic of the show for today, cuz? I need to get some sound effects. Can I get a sound? Somebody send me some sound effects. I need a drum roll. I need a laugh. So today the topic, big and serious, rent control. The government abolished rent control, I believe, in 2018 or somewhere around there. And since then, it has just been an absolute mess. Okay? Not only that, the FDA. We want to talk about the Food and Drug Administration. Well, I want to talk about it. This topic is actually my idea. When is our government gonna step up and actually charge somebody from that bitch? Because they've been getting away with a lot of inappropriacies in the way they handle food and the types of food that they allow us to consume and the types of things that they consider food grade, right?
Them no wash chicken. Can we really trust them?
And some chefs will tell you that if you cook food, you don't need to wash it, which is
nastiness.
Like I said, somebody when is the government gonna like put some charges on whoever is working in the Food and Drug Administration? Cause them are going with some fuckery. I mean, I go to the supermarkets, the food is, anyways. We also gonna talk about the White House episode where the Trump supporters stormed the White House. I know we in Canada. We not here.
That
But we
affects
have
us
to
too.
talk about it because when you think about land, we live in North America, right? And the USA they don't consider themselves North America. They consider themselves the United States of America, right? And then you have South America. But any thinking person with a little bit of sense is going to say this is America. The whole of it is America. Don't care how government and people and men and people want chop and split and whatever. It's all America. Okay? Up to all of my Facebook people. Bless up yourself. So thinking in the context, this is all America now. America, I have to think, America was what? Founded on racism, right? The infrastructure was what? Built on the back of slaves, right? So pretty much, to me, what I saw the other day was just a Klan meeting. It was a Klan rally. Them just take off them masks and run up in a them house. I feel them place. You know, see nobody not really get hurt. If it was us,
It would be a whole problem. Military
people
tanks.
dead. Like we're going to kill us. So that's what we're going to talk about today, family. We got 3 topics on the agenda because we're trying to hit you with them facts and them knowledge and them.
Woy.
Oh. You don't know, family. It's Come Make a Chat. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Nervous.
Boy, bad a bit, we no pick it up, you know. Throw it down. We no pick it up. No, we don't pick it up, you know. No, we don't pick it up. How them a try for this? 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 Enough boy them a this. When them see the woman, them a call them bitch. Enough woman them a this. When them see the man, them say he ain't shit. Bad a bit them pull up, bad a bit oh. Bad a bit and me and tell them stop it oh. Bad a bit them pull up, bad.
Nobody now support the kids them like me right now. We no kill youth, we a build youth. Big old man who know me attack too. We a build youth, no we no kill youth. Big man who know me attack too. Send the youth them go to school, make them learn, set them brain at the real world then too. Not the one where man a pushing on your hand and tell if you kill a next man. My G that the wrong. Ooh, that me know I'm not maker, that me know for sure. Everything where me reap so far I me grow. On the league board, me up the top score.
Warrior energy. Warrior nation, yeah? One bag of looting and shooting a guan. We you, them a dead when I blow no storm. No sound, no alarm, you no see where I gone. I kill with one another. Ooh, we a harm. See John Tom gun, him son name Sean. One generation away from the land. Pity you a study up your eyes and chaser. Study figure dance in a jeans and blazer. Youth in a see, your meds want change. That's for eraser. School of a chaser. Don't like books, you look for a trader. Bill great, don't build failure. A calamity, the little you them head get giddy. Now seek work, them a seek out iniquity. I study how to quickly put one pan Vicky. A meds money making by any means.
Who's
Now
Vicky?
study for build back from sufferation. What do you mean?
Who's Vicky?
Vicky or anybody when any female what do you mean?
But just ask one question. Curiosity killed that cat. It didn't kill me.
We are back on Come Back with Chat, and let me tell you, here in the studio, it's always a vibe. It's always a complete different vibe. Shout outs to Chill Vodka, one of our sponsors. Shout outs to Royalty Rolling Papers. They are also a sponsor.
Dear Chill, I need my own vodka. Manager, let's work on that.
I love you're so ambitious. She's so ambitious, people.
2021, we gotta get the bag. All 2021.
Don't forget the link on the bottom for Green World if you want to order any of your natural supplements. We have those magic detox pads where if you put it on your acupuncture points, it will release the toxins from your body.
It wasn't working for me still.
It didn't work for you?
Nah, so I didn't get you anywhere.
Oh, that's not good. It wasn't working for Cuz. It did wonders for me. Yeah, you got to put them on your pressure points, your acupuncture points. You know that, right?
I put it on my feet.
Yeah, and your spine.
Yeah, I tried that. Then, let's not even go into that. What happened with that one?
Okay.
Made it seem like I had on a friggin' pad when they start right up and come out of my clothes and all them things. That
Well, seeing as the magic pads didn't work for Cuz, they also offer a whole line of breast care supplemental teas. Help you if you have post or pre-op
I need
surgery.
something to flush the fat. Okay.
They do have a weight loss tea. You need to check out the link. Check the web link on the bottom of the page, okay? It is http://ca.greenworldna.com/1000050938. Click on the link or type that into your page and get yourself some of the goods, right? Shout outs also to the Taxman, another one of our sponsors here at Come Make We Chat. He sponsors the whole Links TV movement, the whole Gen X movement. Give thanks to the Taxman. Big up yourself,
Do we
King
get
Man.
our taxes done for free?
You can get your taxes done. Holla and tell him we sent you. You ain't gonna get it done for free.
I mean, he's sponsoring the show and we're on the show. I'm just
The
saying.
man that sponsor we want more than that. You want me?
Well,
Who black people steer so?
Hello, sponsors people being sponsored get paid. Only sponsorship may have my papers, but just I said. Well, you taxman, I see you now.
I'm
Facts
like
though.
absolutely speechless right now.
Facts though.
Where y'all get tax man?
What?
That me say, where y'all get tax man?
I'm giving him entertainment for a show that he's sponsoring, which will make people call him for do them taxes.
You know, someone find me a new co-host.
No one brings the vibes like Big Sexy.
That one that too ungrateful star. Jesus.
I'm grateful with what? I'm grateful for everything in our
When
life.
I give you a little sponsorship, you know, you didn't even call the man for see what kind of deal him offer you and them thing they can talk about freeness.
Yeah.
You need to call him and find out, let him know.
Okay.
You're part of the team.
Yes, and I'd like my taxes done for free.
Tell him so. Anyway,
It only makes sense.
I'm sure it makes sense for you. Man. I'm sure it makes absolute sense. Yeah. So the topic of the day, the first topic that we have up, I guess, I don't know, is it a debate or are we just discussing this? Because sometimes I feel like we're having a debate here.
It depends. Are we on the same side of what we're talking about this week?
Jeez,
Because you know, rent control. I feel like it should be controlled still.
Well, that's the topic for the day, rent control. Should the Ontario government bring back rent control? And I mean, as difficult of a topic as it is, it's not even a difficult topic to me. It's quite frankly, they should.
Yeah.
Because the rent is ridiculous. I mean, you got people renting roach motels for $2,000, $1,500. Like, the rent is ridiculous. And I mean, at some point, I guess people need somewhere to live. So you're taking advantage of one of the most
lucrative businesses.
One of the most prime necessities known to people, which is shelter, right? How dare you gouge people for shelter? And how dare the government allow you to gouge people for shelter? And who the fuck allowed this shit?
2012, right? So it would have been Paul? What's his name?
I'm not sure who did this. I did the research, and I don't even feel like it's necessary to put it up there who did it, right? Because
Something Martin, I believe. That old fat white man thing. I don't vote.
we know so them depend some foolishness. Let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah.
So let me pull it up here for y'all, family. So Ontario government goes back to failed rent control policy. So I believe this was as of November 15th, 2018. It says that if you move into an apartment or condo or basement unit that was occupied as a residential space after November 15, 2018, there will be no legal limit set on how much your landlord will be able to raise your rent. In other words, the rent for the brand new basement unit that you'll be moving into next month could become unaffordable for you in a year if your landlord wishes to raise your rent to make more profit. People in Toronto and other unaffordable cities in Ontario will once again face economic eviction in an unregulated rent market. The good news is, there's good news to this bullshit. The good news is that unless a unit was first rented as a residential space after November 15th, restrictions on rent increases will continue to apply once a tenant takes occupancy. Even for the new residential units impacted, rent can only be raised once a year, and 90 days notice will still be required before any increase can be taken. So you will have time to give 60 days notice and move out if you can find another place to move that is affordable. The announcement does not have a direct impact on any existing tenancy agreements. It will not change landlords' right to charge any rent they can for a vacant unit.
I call BS.
You know, so we government well dirty, cuz.
That's why I don't vote.
You know, so we government well dirty, star. I mean, like, what the fuck is that?
Because the more they get, but you know what? They fucked over their own selves. Excuse my language. Because here why I think so. Mm-hmm. The more you charge for rent is the more you gotta pay for government. Pay the government when tax time comes, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you have people who are renting out their basements and not claiming that.
Yeah.
So you fuck up your own self when you decide not to control shit. And you fuck up everybody, really and truly. Because what? Minimum wage is now what? $14? And it hasn't raised in what? 4 years? 4 or 5 years now? When that dirty lesbian was in charge?
I knew you were gonna say that at some point, eh?
Nah, she have. Yes, Jesus loves me.
Amen, hallelujah, and praise the Lord.
Because my mother would be mad if I said shit I wasn't supposed to say right now.
So this brings a couple of questions to me, and you're right. Like, what did we say to our politicians when they decided this?
What did
And
black
why?
people say?
No, people. This is not a black people thing. This is a people thing. This show is not for black people.
Oh, no. I get that. But what I'm saying is they wouldn't have listened to the minority anyways.
So are you
regardless
saying
of
that
it.
we're the only people that are feeling this?
No, I'm not
sure
saying that we are.
every nation is feeling this.
Yes, absolutely. But if we hickle up and start talking, we are monkey. If other races start talking, oh yes, let's have the conversation.
And what I'm saying is why isn't anybody saying anything? Why does it take the monkey then to come say something and try say something publicly and openly say a fuckery I deal with, I put people on the street, and then when they're on the street, it's like you wanna kick them when they're down and call them a waste. But who can afford to live? When you have the choice, it's literally pay your rent or eat. Pay your rent or live on the street or pay your rent and go to work hungry, or pay your rent and walk to work,
And even those who
or
are
pay
making
your rent and have nothing else but just the place where you're living and for sleep to say yes.
and even those
The fuck?
who make well over $14 an hour, they're still feeling it, because really and truly, sometimes after taxes, every 2 weeks it's a rent money. $1,300, maybe $1,400. Your rent could all be all $1,500 a month, and then what? You get screwed.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Is that they put people in a predicament where they're facing the street, and you hear these groups on the news, coalitions against poverty and things like that, the Ontario Coalition Against Poverty, and other groups like that are out there making a statement and trying to bring awareness, and people that are suffering through this sit in their house and say nothing. And this is the mentality that I don't get with Canadians.
Because sometimes they feel like they don't have a voice.
But you have a voice.
You have one, but when you
just
feel
don't
like
know
it's
how
not
to
being...
use it. The voice is in numbers. When you start writing letters and showing up at your local MP or MPP's office with the rest of the residents in the neighborhood, you know what they start looking at? Voters. People that put them where they are. Worse, if you're registered and we're someone that voted for them. You make the biggest difference to them, because guess what? Those numbers will shift. If they have to go to another party to get what they want, they're not gonna vote for you the next round or your party, because you obviously don't have their best interests at heart.
True.
Right? So we've got to get proactive and be the kind of person, when we hear something on the news that we don't agree with, to write a letter to our local MP, say, what the fuck this here talk about? Them I talk about. That can't happen in my jurisdiction. That's how you get things done. That's how it's always been done. It's just that we don't utilize those avenues. So we need to start. And I don't mean we as black people. I mean we as poor people. As people that are not being considered by the majority, or those that have it, or those that are not affected by these issues. And guess what? If the choice then becomes, well, we're just working to put a roof over our head to pay someone else's mortgage, then frick that. Why go to work? We might as well just be the bum you're pushing us to be.
Facts.
And then guess what? These infrastructures that don't consider us, they don't work so well with no employees. It's a machine, right? It's a circle. So we've got to learn how our position in this circle holds some weight and power, and how to utilize the power that we have. Okay? We're not just there. We're not destitute. We have options. We have alternatives. We're not dead left. You feel me? It's bullshit. You have bidding wars for apartments. You'll go see an apartment that's $700, and when you go see it, someone else is there to see it with you. And the landlord's like, well, it is $700, but if somebody wants to pay a little more, you could take it. People are bidding for places to stay. This is ridiculous. You're not selling food. You're not selling. You're renting somewhere for someone to live. This is not the type of business that you handle that way. And some of you out there listening might be one of those people that is operating your residence that way. You need to stop.
Your heart need detergent.
You need to stop, because people don't have to take it.
Period.
They don't have to rent it. And you know what you're forcing some people to do? Fake the funk. So come into your place and can't afford it, and come sit down by your same way. Think about it.
And then it ends up costing the landlord in the end. Because then you have to go to court, could get called sheriff not come for months, and then you get fucked up.
I'm
Court
just
fee,
saying,
law fee, all them thing there.
it's a vicious cycle if the right elements are involved, you know? You got people selling roach motels, renting roach motels, 500 square feet of cockroach for $2,000. Are they sick? Dirty Donald Trump built some condos right smack downtown.
He built
$1 million for each one. And they're pinch. Rooms are renting for $1,000. What the hell?
$850, and you have to share washroom and kitchen. That no work.
And when you look at these places, they're dirty. Not even your dog wouldn't want to live in there. Matter of fact, your dog would go in there and clean it up.
I'm done.
Is this Canada? You got bed bugs traveling on the TTC?
Bro.
Like, I mean, when are we gonna start making our government hold some responsibility for their actions and take some accountability? They love to speak of responsibility and accountability, and it's about time they start taking some of that. You know, you got people on the reserves that are living in mold infested apartments that the government gave them, refuse to fix.
Nah, but natives live by their own type of, I wouldn't say law, but they have their own type of setting. Like, yeah, the government supplies them with no taxes and rate because they teach the people them land. But when it comes to stuff like that, I think they're supposed to handle like certain shit themselves.
Well,
don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying, because even when people dead over there, I them handle them some of them first. They have their own police and shit.
They do have their own native institution, you know. But a lot of their funding and a lot of their resources come from the government. And they're limited. True word. Extremely limited. We got to start letting these politicians know what it's like to live like the people that put them into power. You know, you remember the guy that was saying let them eat tuna? That feisty one, the Suganumanama or something, Tamaguchi or whatever his name was, the Japanese guy. He was around when Mike Harris was around. And he was the one that started with this let them eat tuna and macaroni and cheese for the welfare people and cut their funding. You know, and at the same time he made a couple of, I mean, all of that is fine and dandy, but you gotta be doing it. You know, you government people, maybe you should start living off of the money that you want people to live off of.
Right? You work for $14 an hour, 37.5 hours a week, and then take out tax, union, all of them something there, all of them fee.
And get this, if you make $50 an hour, your taxes are less.
No. The more you make, the more they tax. Don't get it twisted, cuz I swear to you. The more you make, maybe like once you reach a certain class,
your taxes are less.
Why?
Why?
Because they're paying off the people them.
No, because they're trying to eliminate middle class. They don't want middle class citizens. They want upper and poor. High class and low class.
Oh, them low class,
poor.
them mama.
The middle class is being eliminated very quickly. So yeah, just to sum up that, y'all need to cut the bullshit where as far as this rent thing goes, and bring back affordable rent to people. I mean, come on now. This is beyond ridiculous. The housing infrastructure doesn't have enough to satisfy the need of the growing low income population, and the main cause of that is simply rent, the cost of rent, the cost of living, and taxes. So cut it out. Take a pay cut. If you guys need to take a pay cut, I mean, I suggest to my viewers, you write them a letter suggesting they take a pay cut, or bring back rent control, or take your vote to somebody who's willing to take that as a serious consideration. To me, it's not even about the adults in the process. It's about the children involved in this situation that you're affecting.
It's a cycle.
Possibly hundreds of thousands, if not even millions of children are being affected by the decisions that you fools are making as far as rent.
No, but let's not even talk about just rent. 1 in 5 children, this is actually a fact, and it actually might have gone up. 1 in 5 children have to go to either school or to bed hungry. That's a fact.
In Canada.
In Canada. 1 in 5 children. Now,
that means
that is 20%.
1 in 5 parents have to decide whether to give them breakfast or dinner. Sorry, you think of Canada as a first world country.
Nothing's really first world about it.
You still have people in poverty here. Just because we have this great economic status on an international scale,
does not
and
mean
compared to some countries, we may have a greater dollar value and hold this great image on a media scale, but all of that is bullshit. We got poor people, we got ghettos, we have ill-treated citizens, we have government turning a blind eye to the plight of the citizens, just like in any third world country.
Facts.
It's just our media institutions refuse to take on these issues and to publicize them.
But I feel like even though we know that Trump is a madman, I feel like Trump is a madman with certain truths.
So I never said that.
Well, you never said he's a madman, but I know that for me, he's a madman.
To me, this is my thing with Trump. Because I've been watching him since he was very young, since he had hair, And he's always had this same arrogance about him.
Yep.
He's always had this arrogance, like, I can do whatever I want.
Nobody can tell me nothing.
I take orders from no one. And if I want, I'm going to be president. And that's what he did. And then he's like, well, now that I'm president, I can just do what I want to do on a global scale. And to me, he exudes what everybody in the world thinks of America.
Yep.
When you think of an American, Donald Trump is the first thing
that comes to
mind.
mind.
He's that type. He's your
Everyday
poster
American.
for America.
Poster child, yeah.
And that's why I find it disturbing, because as much as that is somewhat truthful, it's not fully truthful. You have some really good people in America. Not all of them are like that. And I hate to believe that the majority of America is that.
Well,
just like how it makes me laugh when people think that the majority of Canada is living in igloos and riding around on dog sleds and snowshoes, right? It's a joke.
Someone asked me that one time from the States.
Me
you
too.
got an igloo? I said, your ignorance.
You got igloo? What you sleeping in that igloo? How you get around? I was like, what? What do you mean? How do I get around?
I was like, you're ignorant.
It's the same
Shout
country.
out to Tommy.
It's the same land. But then again, you have to remember, just like here in Canada, a lot of people don't travel in the States. A lot of people never leave their town or their city.
That's true.
So what they see and what they know is of their city. And what they see and what they know of other places is what they see in the media. Which is why when certain issues aren't addressed, you have to address actually even sometimes the media.
Mm-hmm.
Because they skip over these issues and they don't let the general or the masses know
what's going on.
What it
the
is.
real truth is, yeah.
Right? Yeah, man. So we're going to take a quick little break. And then we're going to come back and talk about the FDA and what these fools is doing.
Fraudulent, dumb assholes. That's what they are.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Who wrote this script?
No, you.
Yeah. I'm going to see what these fools is doing with the food. Because I'm honestly, people, just to be a little bit real about myself is I'm not a woman of fluff. You know that, cuz I'm not a woman of hype. I'm not a woman of fluff. I'm a woman of substance. And one of the most important things to me is the things I put into my body. You know, I will spend some money on my belly. Anybody that knows I can't even say that with a straight face. I will spend some money on my belly. So I care about what goes in there. And what I've been noticing going on is an absolute fraud attack, war against my body when I go into the grocery store. And I think it's about time the government starts addressing the Food and Drug Administration or whatever powers that be that controls the food that we're getting, because something is wrong with it. It doesn't taste right. It doesn't look right. It doesn't ripen right. It doesn't spoil right. And it doesn't eat right. And the effect it gives on the body is not right. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to take a quick break, right, cuz?
Nobody now support the kids them like me right now. We no kill youth, we are build youth. Big old man who know me attack too. We are build youth, no we no kill youth. Big man who know me attack too. Send the youth them go to school, make them learn, set them brain at the real goal. Then too, not the one where man a pushing on your hand and tell if you kill a next man. My G that the wrong. Ooh, that me know I'm not maker, that me know for sure. Everything where me reap so far and me grow. On the league board, me up the top score. I'ma not stop right, yeah, something I go give them more. Hey, hey, what we say?
Yo, them youth are evil and harsh. Hey, madly. But a dubs over gun when the people want. Yo, full dry yourself, dude. You why?
What make the youth them so dark? So they don't make with no heart, wrong talk and a gun spark. What make the youth them so dark? So they not take no talk, wrong talk and a gun spark. What make the youth them so harsh? So they not take no talk. More money than the bigger gun than the sword. Them me put up and pass with the flick of them arm and guns free move. Wall look like something from Mars. Plus they bling around them make look like some falling stars. Y'all only one bad man that where them balls. So them
Listen, hey, moments of clarity. It's like a rarity. Trying to survive when enemies want to murder me. Hey, time is precious, so imagine the urgency. When blood hits your shirt, the shit looks like burgundy. Foresee your purpose before you wipe out the surface. A lot of hates in the air, they back to burning black churches. Concerned with my city, I know it makes them nervous.
Yes, family, we are back.
I should have got a drink.
So we're gonna talk about the FDA, right?
Yeah.
And is it the FDA that controls the food and customs? And what the hell is going on with the food? Like, I'm seeing companies use glue to hold rotten meat together. I'm seeing organic food being mislabeled. You know, citric foods are burning your tongue. You know, citric foods.
Yeah, lemon, lime, all of them.
Burning your tongue. What is going on? And why?
Hormones.
Why is the FDA letting this happen? And why is it that certain things, certain chemicals, is allowed to be used to process food? Why? These are the things we should start talking to our MPs about. These are the changes that need to be made. These are the things that affect your actions and your attitude and the way you are. If the food you're getting is not clean or is mislabeled and you think you're eating something that you're not, you're doing a dangerous damage to yourself. And for far too long, the government has been allowing this to get through, slide through. Rotten fruits in the supermarkets, okay? Rotten, out and out rotten.
Yep.
Mislabeled food. Food being labeled from countries that it's not coming from. Food coming from China being labeled the Caribbean. Meat, rotten meat being sold directly from the factory. What is our government doing?
Killing us slowly.
They're killing us. And then, you know, there was a study the other day, shout outs to, I believe it was 99.9 FM Virgin Radio. And the way that the DJ said it, it was so comical. He was like, yeah, you know, studies suggest that we eat about a credit card worth of plastic every year in our food. And I'm like, a credit card worth of plastic? That's a lot. That's a lot. Wow. We shouldn't be eating any plastic in our food.
Facts.
What does that do to the system over time? Ingesting plastic. And this is coming from the sources, you know, the sources that are producing the food, the rice factories, you know, when they're low on their crops, they throw in plastic to make the rice enough. Who's letting this get away? Who's allowing people to get away with this? And why isn't anybody getting sued? And if people aren't getting sued, why aren't we hearing about some mass firings at the Food and Drug Administration or at Customs or wherever, whoever is allowing these foods to come around and be consumed? Some bullshit.
We're guinea pigs.
So my question on that is, when is the government going to hold someone accountable for these crimes against the population? Not just me, the whole population.
When he admits that Castro's really his daddy.
You know, and I'm right back to that fuck Justin Castro shit. Get your t-shirt here. And then, let's move on.
Liberals not so liberal.
Well, I have another problem with that as you talk about the Liberal Party, because everybody loves Pierre Trudeau. You know, everybody loves Pierre Trudeau. because he was so gracious and kind to immigrants, and he opened up the immigration airwaves. But let's just remember Pierre Trudeau's prime minister term. He was forced to do that by the progressives, by the Conservative Party. Okay? He never wanted to do this. He was forced to do it. So that's a little bit of history that people don't seem to want to remember, but it's the truth. It's the truth. He was just the prime minister at the time. He never wanted immigrants to have access to this country.
Puppet on a string.
Okay? He was forced by the other party, which was the Conservative Party at that time, which is now the Progressive Conservative Party at this time, I believe. Do your history.
Coming like JLP and PNP and them, you don't want to change course.
Yeah, I don't understand politics that's not from my country. So I'm not going to entertain it. So right now, the latest bit of news is that Donald Trump finally conceded that he lost. But we know you lost, you know, because you were too conceited.
He has to be out, what, next week?
I don't know. They're trying to get him out right away. I mean, what's the point of this? They're trying to use some executive order, I believe, some statute or law that can get him out right away.
Because he said he's not leaving. I don't understand.
But
You know
he
what?
has
If don't
how-
rush him.
10 days left or
No,
less.
like 8 days or something.
Whatever. He's got to be out by the 20th or the 29th.
20th, yeah.
So he doesn't have much time left. I don't know. What could he do in that time? I don't know.
Start a war.
That's what they all do. They start a war when they're in dire straits. But I mean, he's already been impeached. And now what he's done, because let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. We know America was founded on piracy and racism. Okay? They captured this land, which is the piracy. And whatever other nations was there, they removed them with racism and continued to keep them down with a racist system. Their infrastructure was built on slave labor,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
So their wealth was generated off the backs of other people. Everybody knows this, right?
Yep.
We know that blacks have been mistreated by the police system there, the justice system there, everything, right? And we always wondered why they'd get away with these things. How do they get away with these things? But then for me now, what I started doing is I started putting together the evidence, right? And the evidence is this. This country is founded on racism. And the obvious big business people are racist. The obvious government system is racist. You know? The police system is racist. So when people ask the question, where is the Klan? Where's the Ku Klux Klan? Because they had a great number of people in membership, didn't they? Right? So there they are, without their masks on Capitol Hill, White House, which is their house. right? Didn't they take it by force? Didn't they take the whole country by force?
So they went into the White House with no masks, and no cases came of it. Ain't that something?
What happened to me was a Klan rally. That was a straight up Klan rally. And I'm going to tell you, the only thing that I was really offended about in that whole thing was the one black dude I saw there. So I'm like, you're so stupid. What are you doing there?
Yo, he went to go change his stimulus check, bro. 2,000 isn't enough. He wanted more.
I have to show y'all how this could not be nothing more than that, right? Because, I mean, family. Let's just look at this, right? See if I could get this running here. Look at all of these people inside the White House.
Whoa.
What is going on here?
Him look like him are dead.
I mean, this is from Sky News. Shout outs to Sky News. But what is this? This is ridiculous. Let's look at something else. What is this? I mean, I'm absolutely shocked. And again, shout outs to Sky News for this. What is going on here?
You know, even since the White House don't even look white anymore.
I mean, you have people jumping off of bleachers and doing the most.
It's crazy.
Doing the most. Let me see if I could scroll down here and find something better. Like, people, this had to be a Klan rally. Where's the police? All I see is one ambulance truck. You know, and they're just proving a point that nothing about America has changed. Nothing about America has changed. Nothing about America will change. And, you know, look at this.
Oh, that for what? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
What is this? NASA? Whatcha? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, wow. I don't know. If it's about freedom, that's not our freedom. I mean, if you want to talk about black people, that's not our freedom, because there is no way we could do that. We've had the riot squad out for less than that, here and over there. So, America needs to change. America definitely needs to change and do better. And
I feel like what they need to do is reverse slavery.
what?
No, here, like, you cheat us so bad. Let us show you how it feels, just for a week.
I feel you on that. But I don't think that's gonna work. I honestly don't think that's gonna work because nobody. I'm sure for those people that were around in those times that are still alive and remember some of the wickedness or the wicked things they did to people, I don't think they're gonna want that treatment in reverse. You know? The whole stereotype and stigmatism and everything that is attached to it, I don't think they want that. But yeah. So we're getting to that time now where we're gonna wrap it up, folks. And I guess we're gonna move on with the COVID update, right? So let's start with the government's new fulili or kofulili or whatever. Like I'm so tired of this government right now. I'm so tired of this government because he's such a puppet. Like he has no thought process, okay? So a resident is taken to a waiting ambulance as nurses and PSWs at Sienna Senior Living St. George Care Community in Toronto watch from the windows as a support rally takes place in front of the building on Thursday, January 7th, 2021. And I guess because of that, the government has unveiled new public health restrictions in the face of growing COVID-19 cases and deaths throughout the province. Starting January 14th at 12:01 a.m., a host of new measures will take effect aimed at curbing the spread of the virus. This announcement comes as the government introduces a second state of emergency. So here we go, phase 2, it's begun in the province. As well, in new modeling data released Tuesday, health officials now say that without significant reductions in contacts, Ontario's health system will be overwhelmed and mortality related to COVID-19 will exceed the first wave totals, even with their vaccination efforts in place. CTV News Toronto has compiled a list of the new restrictions here. First, a stay-at-home order. Oh, you need to see the look on my face for this one. A stay-at-home order. Whoa, mind-blowing. Why? Because I told you, lockdown. Now they're physically implementing a lockdown. And I'm going to read it, of course. I'm going to read it. So, residents must remain at home at all times with exceptions for essential purposes such as going to the grocery store, pharmacy, accessing healthcare services, for exercise, or for essential work. Businesses across the province must ensure that any employee who can work from home does work from home. Outdoor gatherings. The size of social gatherings has been slashed from 10 people to 5 people with limited exceptions. The government says the limits, which resemble those imposed in the spring of 2020, will allow individuals and families to enjoy time outdoors safely. School closures. In-person learning will not return until February 11th for Toronto, York Region, Hamilton, Windsor, Windsor, Essex, Surrey, and Peel. Now, February 11th, it's around Valentine's, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just in time for people to go shopping, I see. Elementary and secondary schools in the southern part of the province were slated to remain closed until January 25th, 2 weeks later than the original reopening date. In-person learning resumed in Northern Ontario for elementary students on January 11th. It is now being recommended that individuals wear a face covering or mask when they are outdoors and cannot physically distance from others. Individuals are still required to wear a mask or face covering in the indoor areas of businesses or organizations. Non-essential stores must open no earlier than 7 a.m. and close no later than 8 p.m., including hardware stores, alcohol retailers, and those offering curbside pickup or delivery.
So Walmart get mashed up.
Those restrictions do not apply to stores that primarily sell food, pharmacies, gas stations, convenience stores, and restaurants for takeout and delivery.
Well, that answers my question.
The government says non-essential construction, including below-grade projects, will be limited. New enforcement measures. Oh, this is the good part. The government has also introduced new enforcement measures to ensure that the enhanced public health restrictions are observed across the province. Premier Doug Ford says that all enforcement and provincial offenses officers, including the Ontario Provincial Police, local police forces, bylaw officers, and provincial workplace inspectors will have the authority to issue tickets to individuals found in contravention with the stay-at-home order or mask covering guidelines. Additionally, retail operators and companies who do not enforce the mask covering measures will also be at risk of such a fine.
Ain't that something?
So there you have it, people. The bullshit starts.
Yet again.
The lockdown is here. The police and the provincial police and the business police have been dispatched. We are in martial law for 28 days. More
Than we've already been.
than the year that we've already been. Because you see, all of this staying home crap, it ain't working. And I've already given my theory as to why it's not working, because I don't believe the bullshit about this rise in cases. As you see, I have the total cases showing here. And for some strange reason, you know, these numbers look familiar, don't they? I just recently clicked COVID update, you know. So this is the national statistics coming from Google, this chart here. And it says 224K.
Wasn't that the same number as last week?
That's what I'm saying. And there's an additional 3,000 plus cases, right? 3,463 cases. So let's be nice and say 3,500 cases. Or 3,500 cases, my math teacher would say. But let's just say, right? Isn't that the same number the last time I showed y'all?
Yeah, Thursday. That was Thursday's number.
Okay. I'm just trying to show you shit don't add up. And someone in the media is doing a great job of creating this hysteria around this disease. Now, what I am confident of is that these rising cases is coming from the mandatory testing that they're doing to seniors in these residential homes, or maybe even the mandatory vaccinations. Because, you know, when you're in a nursing home, you have no talk, right?
Right.
We only see elderly people. I believe at the beginning of this was an elderly person being wheeled out of a wheelchair, right? From a residential home, from a senior's home, as you want to call it, right? I've already given my opinion on the way that our government handles our seniors. 1 bath a week.
I think it's every
2
other day.
staff. It's 1 bath a week. 2 staff, 3 staff to handle a home full of hundreds of residents. Sometimes a building. You have 5 staff handling a building. 20-floor building of residents. 1 staff handling a wing of 30 residents. There's no way 1 person can tend to 30 people in a 12-hour shift, bathe them, feed them, whatever. Somebody's gonna get left out.
Absolutely.
Somebody is gonna get left out. And to our government, this is okay. Because they have not implemented any measures to change that. And this is a first world country, no?
So them say.
Okay, this is a first world country. You hear what my cousin said?
First world to who though?
200
First world for who, I should say.
224,000 cases. For some reason, they don't want to tell us the recovery rate. Okay? 5,021 deaths. An additional 29, they're saying, since my last update. Do the numbers add up? 674,000 cases total in Canada as of today.
Wait a minute.
17,233 deaths. 576,000 recovered. Now, if you add, let's just be nice, 576,000 plus 20,000, let's say, deaths. That's 596,000, right? You're still missing upwards of almost 80,000 people in this
The numbers
calculation.
don't add up.
I know that. I was just saying that, right? So where are the rest of the people? Worldwide, 91.5 million cases, 50.6 million recovered. Still worldwide, we have not hit 2 million deaths. Where is the other 40, almost 40 million people? Let's say 38. Where are the other 38 million people? Where are they? If they're not recovered and they're not dead, are they recovering?
Maybe there's still 80,000. Because for Canada's numbers, the difference is almost 81,000. So maybe there's 81,000 people who still have COVID, but them not dead yet, and then them not recover. That's just being nice.
I understand that, right? But that should be addressed, that these people are in recovery. But even still, let's just look at the numbers that are there. Of the 596,000 people that have it, right? 576,000 have recovered. The other 80 we're not including, right? 507, we're just adding these two, and I'm just suggesting that 20,000 deaths. We know there's 17, right? So let's say if you minus that 17 from the 576,000 who, or from whatever, from the 674,000, the recovery rate is extremely high.
Compared to deaths.
So the fact that this pandemic is so severe is a lie, because the numbers are telling us that the rate of recovery is higher than the rate of mortality. Right? So, like I said, I'm just tired of the BS, you know, the foolishness. When are they gonna stop? Hey, cuz?
Good question.
When are they gonna stop, and when are they gonna be real, and when are they gonna tell us the truth about what is going on with them and in the world and with us?
When it's too late. When it's definitely too late.
Yeah, man. Definitely when it's too late. If you don't know, family, it's your girl Lynx here, alongside my cuz right beside me here. Yeah, man. It's Come Make We Chat. And we're here to talk about the things that not everybody wants to talk about, but the things that we believe is important to us and our community, don't it? Hello.
Yeah. So I was handling our other business for you.
Give thanks. You don't know, family. I Come Make We Chat, man. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year. What are we talking about on the next episode, cuz? She's like, oh. Oh. Don't know, family. I Come Make We Chat. Bless up yourself. One love. Wagwan family, you don't know, it's your girl Lynx here, and welcome to Come Make We Chat. We're gonna talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about. Come make we chat. Come make we talk. Come make we chat. We always talk the thing that nobody don't want to talk about. Just come make we chat. Come make we talk. Come make we chat.